only 5 more days till DC Fandome. What are we going to see at DC Fandome? All your favorite DC characters are going to be there, and hopefully there are big surprises as well. Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix. My name is Chris Wong. First, we're going to talk about Black Adam. Then we're going to talk about Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Then finally, we're going to talk about Wonder Woman 3. Alright, let's talk about Black Adam. Now, there was a DC Fandome trailer that came out, and there were a lot of teases in between, just little snapshots of the previews that we're going to see at DC Fandome, including Ezra Miller in glasses, Vigilante's character in Peacemaker, who looks very much like Vigilante in the comics, so I gotta give it that, but also some snippets of Black Adam. Now, we have yet to see much of Black Adam. I know there was a leaks and reveals of the costumes hanging, and there's like a ship and stuff, but I can't show that because all those were like DMCA takedown. So instead of getting a copyright strike, I'm just gonna talk about that, but reveal the little 2 snapshots that came out from DC Fandome. The first one is Black Adam himself. We have not yet seen him in his full costume yet. Just his head, just his back, and this one you can kind of see his collar a little bit. Most of all, it just looks like, I don't know, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in dark lighting. I mean, it's the same lighting he used in his rap video. So not much there, but in a few days, we're going to get to see hopefully a trailer or more behind the scenes look at Black Adam. But finally, we actually get to see the other characters for once. And that person is Quintessa Swindell as Cyclone. It's kind of blurry and you can't really see it, but you do get to see a little bit of the detail on her costume. It doesn't very much look like what they've revealed in the concept art, and I don't think it would. Pretty much had to update that, but so far it looks pretty cool. And judging from seeing a possible Thanagarian ship and the Hawkman costume and the Black Adam costume, I think this movie is going to be a lot bigger than a lot of people are thinking. Unless you already think it's bigger, but I think it's going to be bigger than that. I think it's going to be a very epic, huge movie with lots of special effects. Everything was shot on set, so we didn't get to see a lot of it. But I'm thinking it's going to be a lot more science fiction, mythological, and superhero action to boot. I'm thinking this is definitely one of the biggest movies Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's ever going to do. And I think it's gotta be huge, especially when you have the Justice Society of America within this movie. Because there's going to be Black Adam, Cyclone, Dr. Fate, Atom Smasher, Hawkman, and maybe and possibly Henry Cavill as Superman. So let's see what happens. I'm hoping for really good stuff coming out of Black Adam, maybe even a Henry Cavill cameo, but mostly I think this is going to be a gigantic, epic movie. Alright, let's talk about Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Now, there's not much known about this movie, only that there's going to be a Lost Kingdom, and the clapperboard said Necros, which is the Lost Kingdom. We know that all the original cast from the first Aquaman are going to return. Now, with the DC Fandome trailer, there were a bunch of emojis that went out. These are emojis that are attached to hashtags. And some people noticed that there was an emoji hashtag for Aqualad, the same emoji as Aquaman and Aquaman 2 film. Does this mean there's going to be Aqualad in Aquaman and Lost Kingdom? Well, there's definitely 2 different interpretations of Aqualad in DC Comics. The first one is Garth. You've probably already seen him in the comics, Young Justice, Teen Titans, and even Titans on HBO Max, though he kind of died pretty quickly. The other Aqualad is another Aqualad from Young Justice, and his name is Calderon, who is essentially the son of Black Manta, but takes on the mantle of Aquaman later on. Now, we remember after the first Aquaman finished and Jason Momoa and Amber Heard were talking about a future Aquaman sequel, and he mentioned something about concentrating on family. Maybe Mara and Arthur Curry have a kid. Well, that does actually happen in the comics. They have Arthur Curry Jr., but tragedy strikes and Black Manta, in a way, kills Aqua Baby. Which is a sad story because Aquaman lost his kid. I mean, yeah, eventually he has a daughter, but if we're focusing on Aquaman 2, and if Aquaman 2 is supposed to be a dark story, like Hollywood every time calls the second one a darker story, being the Empire Strikes Back of the trilogy, and if that's the case and they actually utilize the Aqua Baby storyline, it's going to be pretty soul-crushing. But it would make sense because Black Manta wants revenge on Aquaman. And maybe Black Manta does have a kid on his own, who is Calderon's Aqualad. And I feel like they're going into the direction of family more than just getting, some dude named Garth. Or if you decide to change it, I don't know, maybe James Wan figured, well, might as well make Aqua Baby Aqualad. And instead of having Garth from somewhere else, maybe James Wan decided to just make Aqua Baby Garth, which is not really canon to the comics, but what comic book really is nowadays. So even having Aqualad be part of Aquaman the Lost Kingdom, it's starting to sound like they're preparing these younger heroes to take over. I feel like it's too soon because I'm thinking we should have a little bit more Justice League before that happens. Alright, let's talk about Wonder Woman 3. Now, Wonder Woman 3 apparently is still happening, directed by Patty Jenkins. Gal Gadot is to return. And since Patty Jenkins is going to be a DC Fandome, maybe we'll hear a little bit more about Wonder Woman 3. But here is another scoop from Daniel Rickman, DanielRPK. Rumor, Wonder Woman 3, as stated by DanielRPK, Nubia will be introduced in Wonder Woman 3, and there are plans to do a solo spin-off of her. Interesting, so they're going to introduce Nubia in Wonder Woman 3, if this actually happens. Nubia is essentially the Black Wonder Woman. No, I'm serious. Pre-Crisis, they molded black clay into Nubia, and the white clay was Wonder Woman. Which, if that is truly the case, then it does seem like Wonder Woman is definitely going back to Themyscira, just like the original plans. And if Wonder Woman 3 is all in Themyscira, with the rumored Cert being the actual villain, I don't know, this could be a really interesting movie. And I think it's about time that she goes back home. I mean, that could truly tie in the whole trilogy, as she left home in the first one, and she comes home for the third one. Maybe something happened in Themyscira and there's some type of factions involved and there's war and Nubia is part of that. I'm so curious about the story. Where was she in Wonder Woman 1, 84, or even Zack Snyder's Justice League? What's also interesting about Nubia is that there is a version of her that is Wonder Woman on Earth 23. Now, I'm not inferring that this DCEU is Earth 23 or anything like that, although after The Flash, who knows what happens. But I thought it was interesting in the Earth 23 comics, Nubia was Wonder Woman. Because who was Superman in Earth 23? Calvin Ellis. Oh, wait a minute. I don't know how I got from Wonder Woman to Superman, but that's always seems to be the case because I'm a Superman fan. And if they were smart, they would do this in a way that they could bring in a Black Wonder Woman and a Black Superman by utilizing the comics Earth 23. If that were the case, then we really could explore different Earths after the Flash movie. And if they really wanted to bring in a Black Superman, Calvin Ellis would be ready. But then again, Michael B. Jordan is developing his own Superman series or movie on HBO Max, and it's not Calvin Ellis. They specifically said he's developing Val Zod, which is also cool, and I accept that. I like that. It's better than turning Clark Kent into a Black Clark Kent. I'd rather have it either be Calvin Ellis or Val Zod. And Nubia would be perfect for a Wonder Woman on Earth 23, or being the twin sister that she is in the comics with Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman. I mean, judging from the cosplay, she looks amazing. I think it will work fine. And hopefully we'll find out at DC Fandome, and hopefully Patty Jenkins talks all about it. Now I'm wondering what other scoops and rumors are going to be coming out as we get closer and closer to DC Fandome this Saturday.